There are many ways to talk about different kinds of people in the world of social dynamics. Sigma male is one of these terms. A person who doesn't act like a typical alpha or beta male is called a sigma male. They tend to be independent and self-reliant, and they usually don't like being in groups. Here are 10 things you need to know about sigma males. Number 1. They are independent thinkers. One of the most important things about a sigma male is that they can think for themselves and come to their own conclusions. They don't base their decisions on what other people think. Instead, they use their own judgment and intuition. Because of this, they can look at things from a different angle and come up with new ways to solve problems. Sigma males like being unique and independent, so they don't care as much about following social rules or being part of a group. They don't mind being alone and aren't afraid to do things differently than everyone else. This doesn't mean that they don't like people or can't work in a team. It just means that they prefer to work alone and are able to think for themselves. Risk-taking is another important part of a sigma male's ability to think for himself. They don't mind failing and are willing to take on new challenges, even if it means getting out of their comfort zone. They trust their gut feelings and are sure they can handle anything that comes their way. Number 2. They are introverted. People often say that sigma males are shy or introverted, which means that they prefer to be alone or with a small group of people rather than in a big crowd. Even though they aren't necessarily shy or socially awkward, they would rather be alone and avoid small talk or interactions that aren't deep. They tend to be deep thinkers who like to think about and talk about their thoughts and feelings. This helps them learn more about themselves and the world around them. Sigma males may also seem cold or distant, but that doesn't mean they don't care or aren't interested in relationships. They just have a different way of making friends, preferring to connect on a deeper level instead of just talking about small things. They choose who they spend time with carefully and usually only hang out with people who share their interests or values. Number 3. They are observant. Sigma males are known for how well they can notice things. They have a good eye for details and notice even the smallest changes in their surroundings right away. Sigma males are very good at reading nonverbal cues like body language, voice tone, and facial expressions. They are great at understanding situations and people's goals because they can watch and read people well. They can usually tell when something is wrong or when someone is not being honest. Because they are good observers, they can also predict problems or challenges before they happen. This trait is especially helpful in business, law enforcement, and healthcare, where being able to think quickly and understand people can make all the difference. Sigma males may also need to be careful not to get too caught up in their observations and lose touch with the people around them. Number 4. They have strong personal boundaries. Yes, you are correct. Sigma males are sure of who they are and know where their personal limits are. They know exactly what they want and what they won't give up on. They are not afraid to say no, and if they feel like their boundaries are being crossed, they will stand up for themselves. This can make them seem distant or even stubborn, but it also means they are not easily swayed by outside forces. They can make decisions based on their own values and beliefs instead of letting other people decide for them. Number 5. They value freedom. Yes, Sigma males care a lot about their independence and freedom. They would rather make their own decisions and be in charge of their own lives than depend on other people or outside forces. Because of this, they often choose jobs or ways of living that give them a lot of freedom and flexibility. This desire for freedom is sometimes mistaken for being selfish or uncooperative, but it's important to remember that Sigma males are just putting themselves first. They aren't against working with other people or being on a team, but they don't want to give up their personal freedom to do so. Number 6. They are low maintenance. Sigma males are usually self-sufficient and don't need much help or attention from other people. They aren't needy or clingy, and they can take care of themselves without relying on anyone else. This doesn't mean they don't care about the people in their lives, but it does mean they don't need constant support or attention to feel happy. They like being by themselves and are happy to spend time alone. Sigma males are also used to being alone and can easily keep themselves entertained. They don't need anyone else to be happy or meet their needs. They have a strong sense of being able to take care of themselves and can find happiness and fulfillment within themselves. This makes them less demanding and less likely to put pressure on other people to meet their emotional or social needs. They like being on their own and are often able to handle their personal and professional lives on their own. Number 7. They are highly resilient. Sigma males are often able to keep their cool in stressful situations that would be too much for other people. They know themselves very well and are able to keep their emotions in check, which helps them stay focused and in charge. This also gives them the confidence to take risks and go after opportunities. They know that failing is part of growing up and are able to learn from their mistakes, which makes them more likely to reach their goals. Overall, Sigma males' high level of resilience is a key trait that makes them successful in life. Number 8. They have a strong sense of purpose. Sigma males are usually driven by what's inside of them and don't give in to outside pressures or societal norms. They know exactly what they want to accomplish and are ready to work hard to get there. They can be very successful in both their personal and professional lives because they have a strong sense of purpose and drive. They don't want to just go through the motions or settle for average work. Instead, they try to be the best they can be and are always looking for ways to make themselves and their lives better. Most Sigma males are very creative and come up with new ideas. They aren't afraid to try new things or take risks, so they often come up with unique and unusual ways to solve problems. They are very interested and are always looking for new things to learn and do. Even though Sigma males might not be as outgoing or social as some other personality types, they can still connect deeply with others if they want to. They tend to have close relationships with a small group of people rather than a large group of friends. Number 9. They are nonconformist. Sigma males often come up with new ideas and solutions because they don't like to do things the way everyone else does. They don't have to follow rules or stick to traditions, and they can think outside the box. This makes them great at solving problems and thinking critically. They are also not afraid to take risks and go against the norm. People who are willing to think outside the box and question accepted ideas can be very helpful in many areas of life, such as business, science, and the arts. Because they don't follow the rules, they can come up with new ways to solve problems because they aren't limited by traditional ways of thinking. People often think that Sigma males are mysterious and hard to figure out, which can be interesting to some. But their independence and ability to do things on their own can also make them seem cold or far away. Even so, Sigma males have a strong presence and can get respect without being the center of attention. They care about their privacy and may not share personal information easily, but they are good listeners and are often asked for advice. Number 10. They are selective about their relationships. Sigma males are picky about who they hang out with and don't have a lot of friends. They would rather have a few close friends than a big group of people they barely know. They want relationships that are deep and meaningful, not ones that are just on the surface. When it comes to dating, Sigma males may also be pickier and take more time to choose a partner. They want to find someone who shares their values and fits with their way of life. They don't want to settle for a relationship that doesn't fit with their goals or dreams. Sigma males may also value their independence in a relationship and need a partner who respects their personal boundaries and autonomy. Sigma males are also usually very loyal to the people they choose to let into their inner circle. They might not show how they feel very well, but when it comes to people they care about, they are fiercely protective. They don't want to play games or cause drama in their relationships. Instead, they prefer to be honest and straightforward with other people. In the end, Sigma males are unique people who do things in their own way. They value being on their own, having personal boundaries, and being free. They are very tough and know what they want to do in life. If you want to understand Sigma males, you need to know these 10 things about them and respect their uniqueness.
Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And do share with your friends so we may continue to create them. To see more videos like this, subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Additionally, make sure to check out our other videos. Thank you for watching.